In public school, I'm your science teacher. We are learning chapter 9, force and loss of motion. Now, yesterday we saw what is inertia, right? It is the tendency of an object to remain in its state of rest or in motion. Means the object which is in rest will wants to remain in rest, or the object which is in motion wants to remains in motion. Okay. So now let us see one new law, Newton's second law of motion. But before that, there is one property which we are going to learn. Let me tell you that first. Okay. Now, let's say there is an object. Okay. This is an object for you. Let me draw for you. Okay. Let's say there is a person and there's one ball. Okay. Now, if you hit this ball, let's say that's a tennis ball. If you hit this ball with some velocity, with less velocity, the velocity is not so much, you simply throw the ball. So the person might not get hurt if the person do not catch that ball and hit it, right? The person may not hurt a lot, but instead of this, if you throw a season ball, okay, the cricket ball. Now, if you throw that ball, you think the person will be hurt if you throw with the same velocity as you throw a tennis ball. Okay. So the question arises here is why? In the first case, it will not hurt, right? It will not hurt. But in the second case, it will hurt. Why the question is this? Because here, what is more? The mass is more, right? So in this case, the mass is more. Now let's say we take the same example, but here I said we take tennis ball only, right? In both cases, I am taking a tennis ball. But here the velocity is less and here the velocity is more. So in which case do you think the person get hurt more, right? The second case, when the velocity is more, right? So what change do you observe here? Velocity. The mass is same, but the velocity is more. In first case, the velocities are same, right? Velocity is same and mass is more. And here the mass is same, but the velocities are more. So if you see in both this scenario, the person get hurt. Now they come up with a quantity, a new quantity. Why do we keep on telling that in first case mass is more or velocity more? So instead of that, they derived something extra. And what is that? They said momentum. What did they say? Momentum. Okay. Now momentum is what? They said momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So now we don't speak about mass is more or velocity more. We just say the momentum is more. Exactly. Right? So if mass is same and velocity is increasing, still the value of momentum is more. Or when say the velocity is same and the mass is more, still the momentum is more. So they derived with one new quantity which we known as momentum. And how do they symbolize it? P. P is equal to m into v. So what is momentum? Mass into velocity. Okay. Now let us derive the unit. What is the SI unit? System International, right? This is kg, this is meter per second. So what is SI unit? Kg meter per second. Okay, so what is the unit we write for this thing? So if we want to write down momentum, I said I 2, momentum is 2, so what is the unit I write? Kg meter per second. Okay, so momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Let me show you in our textbook. See, so before Newton's second law, they are teaching us the same thing. Have a look here. Object, its velocity changes when the object gets acceleration. So when you apply force on any object, its velocity changes. Now during the game of tennis ball, I have yellowed that portion. Have a look. If the ball hits a player, it does not hurt him. On the other hand, when a fast moving cricket ball hits a spectator, it may hurt him, right? And there are many more examples. A truck which is at rest, standing on the roadside, it does not hurt you. But even the truck which is of 5 meter per second speed, it may kill a person. Why? Because the same truck, mass is same. In first case, the velocity is 0. In the second case, the velocity is 5. So what does that shows you? Change in velocity. Right? So if you see, only one such property called momentum was introduced by Newton. Who introduced this? Newton. And what is momentum? The momentum of an object is defined as the product of mass and velocity, which we name it as P is equal to mv. Make sure you write everything in small letter, never write in capital letters. Now, momentum is a vector quantity, means it has magnitude, it has direction, both, right? Because whenever you apply, you have to mention both. So its direction is same as the velocity. And what is the SI unit? As what I said, kg meter per second. Okay. Now the question arises that the momentum which we are talking, right? The momentum which we are talking is that comes, how does that change, right? The change. So whenever you apply force, the momentum changes. Whenever you apply force, then only, see, when you apply force on mass, on an object, the velocity changes. If the velocity changes, momentum changes, right? So can I say force is directly proportional to change in momentum? Now this triangle symbol in physics or in chemistry, this triangle symbol shows change of anything. It can be, if I write change of delta T, so change in temperature. Okay, so delta in physics, again I am repeat, delta in physics or in chemistry represent, this is the symbol of triangle, means change. Just remember this thing. So change in momentum. So can I say force is directly proportional to change in momentum? Yeah, yes. But you know, anything which is changing is always changing with respect to time. Okay. And this derivation is nothing but our Newton's second law of motion. Right, exactly. This is a, you say, sir, this simple? Now, let me write down for you. See, the change in momentum. Now, how do you write? The change in momentum or the time, the rate of change in momentum. We just write down the rate. Rate means what? It is changing, but it is changing with respect to time. The rate of change. The rate of change means what? It is changing with respect to time. See, anything, whatever the quantity changes, it always changes with respect to time. If we go for a walk, right, definitely the time change, everything will do, the time never stops. The rate of change in momentum, see, you just have to see this statement, right? You just have to see this statement and you have to see this statement and you have to do it. Okay, so the rate of change in momentum, see, the rate of change Rate of change means it is changing with respect to time. Now what next comes is directly proportional to. The rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to external force, right? Change is momentum is directly proportional to external force. Are you getting? So I have just written as what the law. See, again I am telling the time, the change in momentum with the rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to external force. Now you know in which direction will it change, right? So definitely it will change in the direction of force. If you apply force in north direction, the momentum will also change in north direction. So how do you write? We write the change in momentum, the change in momentum is in the direction of, is in the direction of applied force. This statement is Newton's second law of motion. Okay, but we don't need to draw this arrow here. Okay, normally. So again I repeat, what? The rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to external force. The change in momentum is in the direction of applied force. So very simple, you just have to read as what it is written in our statement, and this statement is nothing but it is called Newton's second law of motion. Okay, let me show you. Okay, here, see, the second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. You can write this also, you can write what I have written, that also, it doesn't matter. See, again, the second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum, what is the rate of change of momentum? Delta P upon T is proportional symbol to the applied unbalanced force, right? Definitely the force will not be balanced, because if the force is balanced then there is no point. So applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. So change in momentum is always in the direction of force. Okay, so this is called Newton's second law of motion. So I hope you understood what I say. Momentum and Newton's second law of motion. Okay, momentum and Newton's second law of motion. Now there is a mathematical derivation, mathematical formula of second law of motion. Okay, let's have a look. Suppose an object of mass m, right? Let's say there is an object of mass m. Let me show you here. Let's say there is an object. Let's say there is an object. The mass of an object is m, and we apply force F on it. So when you apply force in it, it started moving with some acceleration. Okay, but let's not take this right now. And the initial velocity is u. Now the object started moving with some speed. So definitely the mass is going to remains the same. But what is going to change? The mass is going to remains the same. But what is going to change? Its velocity. Okay, when you apply force on it, the mass is going to change, the mass is going to remains the same. What is going to change? Its velocity. So initial velocity is u, final velocity is v. So can I say here, what is the initial momentum? Momentum will be also initial. How? Mu. Similarly, momentum will be final momentum, that is mv. Okay, you understand the scenario? Now let us derive. So when you derive, let's say F is directly proportional to delta P upon T. Now change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum. Did you understand how I written? Final momentum minus initial momentum. Change means what? There must be something final later or must be initial. Now final momentum is what? Mv, and initial momentum is what? Mu upon T. Now if I take this M common, what do you get? V minus U upon T. Okay. Now remember, we have learned in the first chapter, what is V minus U? Change in velocity with respect to time. Yes, that is acceleration. So finally we get something, F is directly proportional to M upon Ma. But when you write F is directly proportional to Ma, whenever you remove a proportionality symbol, there is a rule here that you have to put a constant, right? We have to put a constant, and this we have to put K. This is called force constant, or you say constant of proportionality. We just say constant of proportionality. Okay. Now if we take this value as 1, then what do you get? F is equal to Ma. When you take K is equal to 1. So finally you get the equation of force. What is that? F is equal to Ma. And from which law you get this equation? Newton's second law of motion. Please have a look again. F is directly proportional to delta P upon T. Change means what? Final minus initial. Final momentum is mv, initial momentum is mu. F is directly proportional to mv minus u upon t. V minus u upon t is what? A. Now whenever you remove a proportionality symbol, you have to put equal to sign, and when you put equal to sign, you have to put a constant. That is a rule either in chemistry or physics. And K value you put as 1. K value you put as 1. Okay, have a look here. Okay, so have a look. See, suppose an object of mass m moving with a velocity, initial velocity u, it is uniformly accelerated to velocity v, yeah, in time t. So pi is p1 and p2, right? P1 is initial, p2 is final. So change in momentum is p2 minus p1, mv minus u upon t. So rate of change is mv minus u upon t. So F is mv minus u upon t. So they remove the proportionality and they put K here, and finally they put Kma. Now see, K is called the constant of proportionality, right? Now when you put the value of K as 1, you get F is equal to Ma. Okay. Now what is the unit? Have a look. What is the unit of force? Now F is equal to Ma. So M is kg and this is meter per second square. So what is 1 unit? Kg meter per second square. Or as it is given by Newton, in the memory of him, he gave his name only as a unit. And remember, whenever you write anybody's name as a unit, the symbol will be capital. Remember, even Celsius temperature, we always write capital C because that also comes with some person's name. So remember, whenever you write down the unit with some person's name, it should be written in capital. So it has 2 units, kg meter per second square or Newton. Okay. So this is where we have derived Newton's second law of motion. So I hope you understand what I have said. Please look at it very properly. If you have any queries, please post it. Okay, till then, bye. Thank you so much.